What's going on, guys? K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having an awesome day today. Today is Friday. We are going into the weekend, but there is something that I want to talk about right now that happened because we had the PCE data come out, and as you can see, it came out a little bit hotter than expected. In fact, if we just actually have a look at the data right here, we can actually see that we had the headline year over year at 5.4%, where it was expected to be around 5%. The core 4.7, expected 4.3, headline 0.6, expected 0.5, core 0.6, month over month 0.4%, consumer spending 1.8, 1.4, and personal income 0.6 versus 1%. So what does this actually mean? Well, essentially what this means is that we are not fighting inflation as fast as we would like, and subsequently because of that, we have seen the DXY pumping, we have seen stocks falling, and we've also seen crypto looking like it's trying to fall down as well, because now the markets are potentially pricing in a 50 basis point raise. Now remember, before what we had was a 25. So maybe some people are saying that the Fed sort of like preemptively kind of just, lowered it a little bit too fast. But ultimately what we're looking at right now is a situation in which we need to see if Bitcoin is actually going to be able to literally decouple from stocks based on everything that's happening, or if it is just going to end up following stocks and falling down as well. Because as I said, there is one particular chart, and that is the Shanghai Composite Index, and we know that Hong Kong is about to open up again to crypto traders. So let's dive in. Let's have a super quick look at what's going on right here, and then let's get on out of here. So as we can see, obviously this news has resulted in a bit of a sell-off for Bitcoin, because now people are worried about a 50 basis point raise potentially happening, and you can see Bitcoin did very briefly dip below $23,000 already just today alone. Now we have still not been able to break this extremely critical level where we had this Terra Luna crash right here, right? We had that wick. You could see we had that support bounce back up, resistance, and look at this, guys. 2 straight weeks in a row, we have had resistance at that level. So does that mean Bitcoin needs to come back down to the bottom? Well, right here, we do have a very close level approaching, which is around 22,780. So we're really almost to that level anyway, but there is always that possibility that we do fall and try to retest the previous resistance and support again as support, which would mean technically we would fall out of this upward sloping parallel channel. So there is that possibility, we could just kind of, have this upward sloping trend right there, or there is the chance that we come down here and we retest this resistance, flip support again as support. And that level's down around 21,480. Now I've seen some people online saying, oh, if we lose 22,000, then that means that that's it for the bulls and that we're going to go straight down. I don't agree with that, guys. I do think that there is a chance of a pullback from these levels. I don't necessarily think that that means that the entire trend is broken. Personally, I would be looking to maybe take a long, obviously have to see how the scenario plays out, but around that $21,500 level. If you guys do want to learn how to trade, watch the tutorial popping up above. There's $56,000 in bonuses, but we did have those warning signs again, as you can see right here, right? Look at this. We had this red dot right down here on Market Cipher. We also had a potential anchor wave and a trigger wave moving to the downside, right? And look at this. We also saw the VWAP crossing over right here, right? The yellow moving down into the lower territory. So as you guys can see right here, it's not a surprise that we had that rollover in the price, right? So what we're looking for is to see if we can get a smaller wave down here, which would then confirm the continuation to the upside. But, obviously if we do get a deep sell-off with a bigger wave, then I would say take some caution, because we may end up going a lot lower. Again, though, as I've been saying, we are still waiting to fill the CME futures gap down at around 19,990. So I still believe that we're probably going to fill this gap. And, if we go down to those levels, you're going to hear people screaming saying, oh, that's it, guys. It's over. The run is over. The Fed won. Bitcoin's going to $10,000. Well, I don't think that's the case yet, because we still have this major uptrend, right? I mean, look right here. As long as we can stay basically on this trend and keep putting in a higher low, we're fine. So Bitcoin could come all the way over here and even hit that trend, maybe just around 21 or something like that, right? But this is why it's the moment of truth, personally, because if we have a look at the DXY had a perfect rebound right here at around 100.7, and it has broken back above 105. Now, even though we are kind of still in no man's land, you could say that this is potentially a V-shaped recovery. Now, of course, we still do have, this downward sloping trend right here, so we do have to see if the dollar can get above that. But one thing that's a bit scary is that we've had this major downwards trend, right? That acted as resistance here. This is for the S&P, resistance, right? And then come over here and look at what we're doing. Not only, if you could see the daily, we have fallen below it, but now we're retesting this upward sloping trend. This is a very pivotal moment. I mean, look, you can literally see the 2 points are making an intersection right here. They're making a cross, and that is exactly where we're having that issue, right? I mean, I guess you could argue maybe, you know, Monday or Tuesday technically. But I mean, look at that. We came below, we bounced back up, and currently we are closing above that. But this is a very pivotal level for the stocks, because if stocks finally do break below this level, well, then this would mean that this was nothing but a giant fake out, and then that could send prices crashing much lower. And if Bitcoin was to follow, then that would show that we are still, in fact, just, you know, being coupled with the stocks, and then that we're not breaking that correlation, right? But as I said, this is the major trend right here, this major uptrend. As long as Bitcoin can maintain above this trend, which honestly, if, you know, today, if we were to fall straight down, that would put Bitcoin, which we really wouldn't want to do that because then we'd fall below this lower trend. But hypothetically speaking, we would still be putting in higher lows, even if Bitcoin went to 17,500, which sounds crazy. I know that seems like, you know, so much lower, but, you know, even if Bitcoin came down here and retested this trend, well, guess what? We're still moving in an upwards trajectory, and that would put some nice accumulation levels in here for the bulls to really build that base for the bull run. And then, of course, like I said, we've been talking about this. I'll make another video specifically about the Shanghai Composite Index, but Bitcoin has been following it almost exactly. And it does appear that now that China has opened up again, you know, after the virus, and Hong Kong is looking to allow trading this summer again for institutions and maybe retail, there may be a massive liquidity injection from the East, and the West may not be able to stop it this time because Bitcoin is global. Bitcoin is worldwide. It's not just in the US. So it's something to consider. We haven't really seen this recently, but it could definitely be a possibility. So I do think that this could ultimately be that moment to see whether or not Bitcoin is actually going to decouple from the stocks, whether or not Hong Kong is actually going to play into this at all. Keep in mind, that's not happening until over the summer, but could it possibly be a precursor, or is Bitcoin just going to follow in the suit of stocks and, you know, essentially just go back down to some of these lower levels again? Let me know what you guys think, but I think we could be coming up to that moment where we're going to know for sure whether or not we're going to decouple from the DXY and stocks, or whether or not Bitcoin is just going to kind of roll over and just do whatever everything else in the US does, and the Fed's going to come out with a 50 basis point raise, and then we do go into this crazy recession, and then everybody does actually get their $10,000 Bitcoin that they've all been waiting for. Let me know what you guys think below in the comments. I hope you have a great weekend. Wanted to keep this video a little bit shorter for you. I love you guys. Take care. Have a great weekend, and I will be back tomorrow. So get subscribed, drop a comment, follow me over on Twitter and Instagram and all those others if you want to get that other content. Until next time, stay crypto. Make sure you check out this tutorial if you are looking to trade, of course. And until next time, peace out.